Okay, I wanted to see what you guys think about this. As a free-to-play player, the current meta feels like a joke. Probably just a bit steamed as I say this, but right now the meta feels like a bad joke. Every single deck I run into in the high 80s, low 90s is either Zabu, Surfer, Shuri, or a mix of the three, plus the occasional odd Galactus or Thanos. I think that's kind of true. His meta summary is perfect as a free-to-play player. So you have not bought the Battle Pass, is that correct? Battle Pass gives you Zabu. It's $10. I don't, how do they get around this? How do you think they get around this? It's good value, I just don't want to. Do you think they should just not put a card in there? It can't buy for gold. Ah, maybe that's the way around it. You could buy it with gold. As a free-to-play player, it feels like there's nothing I could do about most of these decks, and the deck-based matchmaking is infuriating. Zabu runs counters to big cards with Shang-Chi and to Zoo decks with Enchantress, and that's if they just don't shut you out with Spider-Man, and they can do each twice with Absorbing Man. The most frustrating thing to me in the game right now is double Spider-Man. Double Spider-Man is the worst. This could be solved by Zabu going up in cost, right? Or Spider-Man going up in cost. But I don't think they should kill Spider-Man because Spider-Man's only nuts because of Zabu. The thing is, this annoying double Spider-Man thing is only going to become even more common because Absorbing Man is going down, right? I think Absorbing Man is going down to pool 3, meaning almost everyone is going to have Spider-Man, Absorbing Man. The way around this would be to nerf Zabu to 5 energy, in my eyes. I think it makes sense. He's kind of like Sarah, but a little bit different. You can even up him to a 4 power, right? Make him a 5/4, just like Sarah, but a slightly different effect. But then we're getting into the point where like people bought the battle pass because they wanted a good card, and then it's nerfed and people are upset about that, right? 80 and 95, everyone's using meta decks. Yeah. 4 is enough, then on 5, you can't play more than 2/4. Zabu 5 cost will still be broken. I think Zabu as a 5/4 is fine. You can wave him out, it'll change the decks. But I think this is only going to make players more frustrated. If they nerf Zabu, we don't get refunds or anything like that. Are you guys going to be upset that they nerf Zabu? It kind of reminds me of Riot, where they would release a new hero. They would cost a premium. They would be OP, and then they would nerf them, right? I don't know if that's changed, but that's how I remember it from years ago when I used to play. Can't nerf Zabu also without needing Silver Surfer. I think Brood, my changes would be they would drop Brood to have, the Broodlings would be 2 cost, right? 2 energy. Because right now the Broodlings, the problem here with Surfer, which I think Surfer would be fine with this one change. If these were 2 energy, that's it. I think that's all you need to do, right? In my eyes, that fixes it. I don't want this going up to like too crazy because this enables C2 right now. It's good in Patriot, and you shouldn't kill those 2 decks just because of Silver Surfer in my eyes. I think this change alone makes Surfer much more balanced. Surfer give +2. I feel like this might do it. I feel like they do this and they see what happens. That's what I would do. I'm not on the balance team. I've never balanced a game in my life. And it's really hard to balance a game. It's incredibly difficult. But here they're complaining about this. Absorbing Man is the issue. And I think this will become more apparent. I hope they see that and they realize that. We'll see what happens. Sandman gets shut down by Enchantress. Leech comes out too late, even in ramp decks. Well, I'm not much of a Leech fan. Sandman, I think they need to buff Sandman a little bit. I think that would be good as well. If you can make Sandman 2 power, 3 power, maybe. With Silver Surfer, it feels like it doesn't matter how much power I put down, it's never enough. Even if I try and save Cosmo for the counterplay, Silver Surfer works anywhere on the board. So I only get it 1 in 3 times. They can also run Killmonger to kill any sunspots, and Maximus, which is busted on turn 6 with Silver Surfer, not to mention the fact that they could shut it down with Dracula. Or it could shut down Dracula, because it makes you draw. This person is trying to play Dracula and they're losing. Remove Sandman? What the heck? Better Sandman being very problematic. I feel like just slightly increasing its power is fine, but yeah, it can be problematic. It could be quite annoying. I think all this can be avoided by them just making that little change to Surfer and the little change to Zabu. Shuri is going to be cheaper. I think Shuri is going to be more of a problem. I think Shuri's the most busted card, but people don't have access to her. That's the weird part about these games is hard. We don't see the analytics, and they can't even get the analytics on what's the most busted, I think, because not enough people can experiment with Shuri. No one can experiment with Sauron except for the 10 people that have her, right? Shuri's giga broken. She is. She's really good. Okay, let's see what they say about Shuri. Shuri decks are just a mess of cards I haven't gotten the opportunity to unlock yet. Yeah, see, no one can unlock it to really see the problem. Like, no one knows how good these cards are. How good is Dazzler? No one knows. No one can experiment with it yet. You can't Cosmo them because Shuri can go anywhere, and you can't leech them because cards like Mary, Red Skull, and Infinite all want you to do that. Feels like against every meta deck right now, they have to get lucky once to win, but I have to get lucky 4 times and outplay them, which probably wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the fact that meta decks are all basically locked behind paywalls. I love this game, but the current meta is making me reluctant to keep playing. So this is an 83% upvote. Is that normal? I think that's pretty normal, right? But it is kind of bound to paywall. I think one way they can get around this is by making the cards like Zabu go straight into pool 3 after. They want it to go into pool 5 so people feel more inclined to buy it, right? But I wish it would just go to pool 3. And I think more cards should be inserted straight into series 4, pool 4, series 4, instead of pool 5. I think that's the problem. Still waiting on Panther. And Panther's in pool 5, right? It's FOMO. Dude, they got a month. They make so much, they're printing money with this game. I think variants are far exceeding their expectations. But I can't see the back end on that. But yeah, this person says this is their life, but they're fluctuating in the 50s. What else we got? Losing pool 5 cards all the time is frustrating as I have none. This is fair. This is very fair. Do bots just have the cards? Another way this could be played around, I think, is changing who you play against. I was rank, 90 playing against people who are 140 infinite. Doesn't seem too fair. Heart suck in 93, 95 because there are Zabu Hawks, Shuri Zero, or other Zabu decks. Yeah, kind of frustrating, right? Ben Bro became a billionaire from this game. I don't think that's true, but I see what you're saying. Point taken. Biggest problem is more the balance is the acquisition system. Yeah, I think they kind of go hand in hand. The acquisition system and the balance, like you can't test it. Again, Shuri is busted. I think Valkyrie is also nuts, but no one has those cards, so they don't really know. When I get free easy cubes, it's mostly from cards that people don't know how to play around, like Sauron, like Shuri. Although people are starting to learn how to play around Shuri because they realize she's busted and they started buying her. Valkyrie, people like maybe Valkyrie counters Shuri, that's the way. Jaw decks or infinite decks? I mean, you can get infinite with other decks. This deck has gotten infinite. A lot of people hit infinite with pool 3 decks. The thing is, they're kind of the same decks they have been. Like this one, I added Doctor Doom instead of Onslaught. It's not a big change, and I think people get bored. Like my issue with content creation is I get a new card. I get it. A lot of people don't get it. I'm a whale. I get tax refunds, so I'm constantly like buying things, right? But let's say I have Dazzler in my shop. I want to buy Dazzler. It's fun. It's exciting. I want to get new archetypes out. I could try her in Ultron. I could try her in Galactus. I could try her in this. And I can't because people don't get to play with that. They get frustrated. And from a content creator perspective, it's also frustrating. I know a lot of people kind of resonate with that. You want Shanna? Like Shanna, yeah, Shanna. I would love to mess around with Shanna, but I can't really even do that. And it's not even worth it to me because if I make a video on Dazzler, people will be like, oh, great, I'll play this in 2 years, right? And then a ton of people will downvote my video. Like that's what happens from the content creator perspective. Nobody but Mega Whales has Dazzler or Sentry. Yeah, Sentry. I haven't bought Sentry. I would love to try Sentry. Why is he pinned? You could buy him right now. Because I was gonna do it on stream. But like even Thanos, I'm hesitant to buy. I've ran a few polls. I thought this was very interesting. Ran a few polls here on my YouTube. I'm running these daily because I think they're kind of fun. I enjoyed participating in the polls. Like people want to see Surfer nerfed and then Zabu, Scorpion, Iceman. They don't really care about those. Do you own Darkhawk? This is what I thought was interesting, all right? Do you own Darkhawk? 9% of players own Darkhawk based on this poll, which is, they have the real stats behind this. This is only 43,000 votes. And people on YouTube are generally probably gonna be less casual. So this is probably something more like 4% or less of players have Darkhawk. Best card game, Marvel Snap. Do you own Thanos? 8% of players own Thanos. This was 10 days ago, so it's probably gone up. This only has 39,000 votes. So again, not a lot of people have Thanos. Do you own Galactus? 10% of players own Galactus. 46,000 votes 11 days ago. I ran this 13 days ago. I want to run this more often, but what is your collection level? 41,000 votes. 51% of players are in pool 3, mid pool 3. This is all going to get more towards late pool 3 as time goes on. I could probably run this poll again and it might shift. There's going to be less in the top, more in the bottom. What site is that? This is YouTube. This is my YouTube. Also, leader nerfs. 71% of players are not satisfied. I don't see that much leader anymore. I think he's fine. I think Zabu is good. 4% of players thought he was bad. These people are just trolling, right? 33,000. So 55% of people were planning on buying Zabu. 20% undecided. 25% no. I'm running a poll tomorrow morning to see how many people own Zabu. Do an M'Baku poll. Yeah, so that's pretty much this. And that's just my little rant on I wish it was a bit cheaper. They need to change the acquisition. I hope they have plans on that. I think a lot of people have complained and voiced their opinions. So hopefully they're taking that into consideration and they aren't just not gonna actually change things. Core game of Snap is amazing. The rest sucks hard. Yeah. The game is great. The game is fantastic. I think best card game since Hearthstone. A lot of people like Runeterra more, and that's fair. I enjoyed the shit out of Runeterra when I first played it in beta, and then they took it offline for like a month. But this is definitely the most popular game since Runeterra. Card game.